hello, and welcome to our final day of the Lunchtime with Dr. Nadine series for the month of October. I am so excited today to have our special guest, Dr. Jennifer Lendore-Mighty. She is a self care priority coach. Dr. Jennifer holds a Doctor of Naturopathy in original medicine and is a certified nutrition counselor, certified life coach, and also a speaker. She has lately incorporated biofrequency technology in the work that she does because she believes that self-care is non-negotiable, and her mission is to empower women to prioritize their health by recognizing that self-care is not selfish. Dr. Jennifer, we're excited to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So, we'd like our viewers to hear, if you're joining us, let us know in the chat, where are you joining us from today? We want to give you a shout out. Let us know in the chat, where are you joining us from today for lunch? And so, Dr. Jennifer, I read a little bit of your professional bio, but our viewers would love to hear from you a little bit about yourself, your background, and so on.
Okay, awesome. Good afternoon, Dr. Collins, and thank you so much for having me on today. It is a delight. It's a pleasure. And I want to say happy Friday to you and happy Friday to all of our viewers viewing us around the world on the various social media platforms. So as Dr. Collins says, I am Dr. Jennifer Lendore-Mighty, and I'm a self-care priority coach. And as the name states in itself, what I work with people on is prioritizing themselves, helping them to recognize it is not selfish and it is so vitally important. A little later on, I'm going to give you my background story, my health story, that is, but it is not selfish. And as she rightly stated, one of the things that I have started doing is I have incorporated biofrequency technology. And what that does, basically, it's a non-invasive body scan that helps us to see what is going on in our bodies at a cellular level, whereby we can take action and be proactive.
Awesome. I need your help, Dr. Jennifer. I need that scan. I need to know what's happening. So you need to us know later, because I probably need to find my way down to New York, get that done, and also see Roof for that range of technique. I need to make an appointment with you ladies in New York. And so I'm really excited to have you here. So you're now a self-care priority coach. I remember how we got to that place. But
Yes.
first off, I just want to give a shout out. We have Moran, who's joining us from St. Lucia. We have Jamila joining us from Portsmouth in the UK. We have Ava joining us from Trinidad. Jamila, as we would have been in the speaker program, book program, etc. Ava is now in the speaker program, and they're here to support you. If you join us, ladies, let us know in the chat where you join us from. We have with us today a self-care priority coach, a coach I think all of us actually need right now, because self-care should be a priority. And so, Dr. Jennifer, give us a little bit of your background, or actually what brought you into the speaker mentorship program.
Okay, awesome. So my background prior to coming into the speaker mentorship program is I worked in the area of trauma. So I worked at a trauma facility, and of course I love every moment of it because it's high intense, it's high anxiety, and so that can take it's pros and cons, So it's like,
Mhm.
it's all the time because it's trauma you are dealing with. And so during COVID, it really gave me the opportunity to ask myself, okay, what's the next step for me? What is it I want to do? Who is it I want to serve? And have been involved with my community for many years, and I know this is where I wanted to continue. But, I was seeing more and more and more of us women who were, coming down with so many problems, so many, and because we wear so many hats, the stress,
Mhm.
fatigue, and everything that goes with it, our health really and truly, I see, is really in jeopardy. And so I decided, I was listening to the program Healing of the Nation, and I heard you on the program. And I said, you were talking about prayer and so forth. And I said, wow, she sounds amazing. I have got to know a little bit more about what is it she does. And this seems like a perfect fit for me because I was really ready to make that next launch. Okay, what's
Mhm.
next? I know I've been doing this for years. This is great. This is fantastic. But I want more. There has to be more to it. And hence the reason, I called, got information, and pretty much took it from there.
Yes, and the thing is, I remember, I believe when we spoke, because it was at a critical point for you, but
Yeah.
also at the beginning of the pandemic, and you were making some major shifts and life decisions at the time. One of them being, do I stay in my job,
Yes.
and or do I just get out and just go head on into the speaker mentorship program and what that was going to look like for you? So I remember you either in the beginning of the program or after you signed up, leaving your job,
Yeah.
deciding to leave your job.
Mm-hmm.
What was that transition point like for you, just going from your full-time job
Yeah.
into saying, okay, I'm going to follow my dreams and I'm going to enroll in this speaker program, and I believe it's going to position me to do what I need to do? What was that like for you?
It was quite challenging and quite daunting. I think at times I had to look, I said, are you crazy? You left your good job. What are you thinking of? What are what's going on up there? Is everything, the elevator is going all the way up? I
Ah,
knew I had to do it because within me, I recognize, you have been procrastinating. First of all,
mm,
the children were small. Okay, I had to do what I have to do. And then I said, but okay, what's the excuse now? They are grown, and I really believe, Dr. Collins, that we are here. God has given us this life. And if anything has shown us how short life can be, it's
mm,
and the COVID experience. And I
mhm,
think to myself, I just don't want to exist. I want to live a purposeful life, the purposeful life that God has put you and I here to live. And
mhm.
I have to take this dive. Do or die, you got to do it. And so
Right.
exactly what I did.
It's so crazy that you say do or die, because just this past weekend I was speaking at a women's retreat, and I spoke about that do or die, how purpose brings us to the point of do or die, using the story of Esther for finally getting to that point of recognizing that she was probably there for a reason and says, okay, if I perish, I perish. But it took so much to get her there. And it sometimes takes us women so much. We go through so much before we come to a point of recognizing that it's a do or die. And that brings me to my next question for you. I know that you have a backstory
Hmm.
that it's a little traumatic,
Yes.
because you came into the speaker mentorship program, because you had a story to tell.
Yes.
As soon as you came into the program, you quit your job immediately,
Mhm.
right? And came into the program. And so we know that there are some mindset shifts going on. But what I want to ask you about is, what is your backstory?
Thank you. I'm glad you asked. So, my background story, which really led me to where I am today, in my 30s, I had a stroke.
In
And
your
so
what?
in my 30s. So,
30.
can you imagine, in the prime of my life, I had a stroke. I was, just to say the least, beside myself. So,
Mm,
I was at home, a regular day, just drinking some juice, no vodka in it, just a nice simple drink, a nice Sunday evening. And as I was sitting there, I said to myself, wait a minute, I'm drinking the juice, but all of a sudden,
mm,
recognizing that just like a baby, when a baby, you're giving a baby a bottle of milk, it was going to be drooling down the side of their mouth. So all of a sudden I recognized that the drink was drooling down the side of my mouth. So I could speak, I could breathe, but I was having problems swallowing. So at that time, Dr. Collins, I said, whoa, this really doesn't look good. So I touched my cheeks, I touched my lip. It was like rock. I
mercy.
put a pin through my cheek, a pin through my face, and not feel a thing. So I knew that I was in trouble big time.
Mm,
And so fast forwarding, it really gave me the opportunity to really sit in that space and ask myself. They said it's okay to talk to yourself, just don't answer back. So that's just what I did. I had to really sit in it, ask myself, what are you doing? Who are you killing yourself for? What are
mercy.
the questions I was, going through in my head. And I said, okay, at that time, the children were small, they were babies. I said, God forbid anything happened to me and I was to drop down here. Somebody would take care of them. Life would go on. The husband, he would mourn for a short time and grieve for a short time and go on and get married to somebody else. The wonderful job that I love, they would put up a nice picture on the wall, how good she was. And that job, the replacement will happen in an instant. So I had to really, level up. And I said to
Mm,
myself, Jennifer, if you don't change what you are doing, how you are doing your mindset, it's a holistic thing, not just from a nutrition standpoint, but, my mental status, my emotional status. If I didn't change it and
mm,
change it quickly, the patients that I'm taking care of, it's either I'm going to be a patient or I'm going to be dead, neither of which I wanted. So
mm.
that really, really brought me to a place where I really had to recognize what I was doing and how I was doing it was working against me. And I needed to change it and change it quickly.
You just drop like a this huge bombshell. Even for me, at this stage of my life, that's why I say I need your help,
Mm.
because I know like right now I need to slow down. And I went to an event night before, and this lady, and she said it to me 2 Saturdays ago. If you don't take the time to do it, your
Yeah.
body's gonna stop you. And I rebuke that right now in this moment. But also, just want to acknowledge what you're saying to all of us ladies, is to recognize that we're doing and doing and doing, and we're being there for us and supporting and doing all of that. But without the health and the proper self care,
Oh,
we could find ourselves in problems. You were only in your 30s
yes,
and you
yes,
were having a stroke. And
yes.
now this epiphany came for you, and that's what I was excited about for your story. When we're working on your story, just understanding at that moment that, hey, life will go on, children will be taken care of, husband will remarry, job will replace people, whatever happens, for us to understand the importance of just taking care of ourselves. So ladies, that goes for all of us in the house.
Yes.
Let's just keep each other accountable for some self-care, not just the money and pennies, because I do that. That's not real self-care,
Mm.
honestly speaking. That's just part of the thing, because when I do that, that happens so quickly. You just go there, and there's nothing. The self-care is really taking, and I want you to talk to us more about what self-care can look like, because I don't want to get into what I think self-care is, because I'm not the expert, you are. And so what does real self-care look like for us ladies?
Yeah. So what self care looks like? It's holistic. When I say holistic, mind body connection. Okay.
Mm,
So it's taking that time. So often I hear women and people say, I don't have the time. But I say, guess what? We have to make that time. This is why it is non-negotiable. So
mm,
make that time. Carve out that time within that day. Whatever it is that works for you, whether it's exercising, whether it's reading a book, whether it's taking a walk, whether it's talking to a friend, and I like to keep things positive and
mm,
positive energy and positive vibes. So if someone is within my circle and I'm not feeling that positive energy, it's working against me. And
mm,
sometimes we have people in our lives, it could be family, it could be friends, and it's really working against us. And the energy, instead of pushing us up, it's pulling us down. So
mhm,
we navigate through. Sometimes we are not able to literally take ourselves if we could change the situation, or so we do it. But sometimes we have to change our mindset,
mhm,
how we respond to it, how we respond to the situation. So I like to say it like this: happiness is a choice, and nobody can make us happy. After God, it
mhm,
comes from within us. And so a person can just add to what we have. They cannot give to us. Because sometimes, and that's one of the things that I learned going through the prayer program with you, Dr.
mhm,
Collins, is our expectations. We have this such high expectations of other people, but they
mhm,
value like ourselves too. They are trying to get out like, so they cannot give to us what they don't have. And we
right.
can give to them what we don't have. So prioritizing however we do it, whatever we do, if that self-help means getting help, getting professional help, there's no shame in the game, I always say, right?
Mm,
Speaking
mhm,
to a counselor, speaking to a therapist, speaking to your pastor, speaking to a trusted friend. We know
mhm.
that everybody is not going to be in the same space with us, but
Yes.
finding what works for us.
Mhm, mhm.
even though it's a little bit, even though it means some drinking water. I know I'm, the tongue is sticking to my lip. I'm not having enough water, on a daily basis. Doing it small and gradually moving to where we need to be.
Awesome. And I like that. I love that expansive kind of definition or umbrella that you put self-care under, because I mean then I don't feel so guilty because I love water and I drink it even when I'm not thirsty, right? I love that. I mean I do have trusted friends, etc. And so I guess I have been doing some, but I guess maybe it's not the magnitude I desire. But I remember, and I want to ask you a little bit about going through the program. What was the biggest takeaway for you? Because you came in, we didn't have you as a self care coach. During the program, we reach a point where we actually craft. How would you like people to call you when you go up to speak? And that's when, we came up with the self care priority coach. And I remember talking you through what that can look like based on your story. That's what I saw you as. But what was your biggest breakthrough during the speaker mentorship program?
Awesome. So, one of my biggest breakthrough, Dr. Collins, was recognizing when I did particularly the prayer program at the beginning. I mean, I was so hungry for it. I was just
Oh my
eating.
goodness, you finished that in 2 weeks.
And I went over it, Dr. Collins, 2 times because it was just speaking and ministering to my soul. And
Yeah.
what it really allowed me to do and to experience was how much I was suppressing. With
Mm.
before that, I went through a divorce. So I was
Wow.
going through the guilt, I was going through the hate, I was going through the anger, I was going through the expectations, I was going through a little bit of depression. I mean, just the whole shebang. But I recognized going through it, the program, like an onion, just peeling off the layers, how
Wow.
much pushing it down and just putting on a face. Well, I don't want people to think something is wrong, you know, break that, burst that, be real. So it allowed me to be transparent with myself and
Wow.
with those whom I needed to be transparent with. And for me, that was a very big breakthrough because we
Wow.
are always so concerned about, how we look, what people think
Mm.
about us, and da, 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 da. And I said, you know what? If you are not real with yourself and get
Mhm.
real with yourself, you cannot talk to other people and you cannot minister to other people and tell them about living your best life when you
Mhm.
are not doing the same for yourself.
Right. Wow. I remember you going through the certified prayer counselor class in 2 weeks. You ate it up like hot bread and butter.
I was hungry for it.
I remember that I was like, 2 weeks, you're done. 12
Mhm.
modules. Where did you find all that time? And
So,
you were like, I needed this, and you just ate that up. And
yeah,
so I can understand that because we have other ladies in the house just like that. We have ladies joining us here. We have Alison Armstrong joining us from St. Lucia, Abigail from Georgia. We have, I'm just checking, Elania from Grenada. And of course, you have Ava saying that CPC girl. Ava has done that about 7 times already. We have Dr. Ruth joining us there from Florida, and so you have your sisters joining from all over the world. So you went through the prayer class, which really helped you to get breakthroughs for the speaker program.
yes.
As we were writing your story, what were the realizations? What were the aha moments for you? What was it like writing that story? Because I remember when you shared about that stroke in your 30s, how shocked I was for
Yes.
a few reasons. First, I thought you only look 30. And then secondly, I thought you had a stroke in your 30s. And so what was it like writing out that story, working on your signature talk? What
Mhm.
did it do to you? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So what it really did for me, I believe that first it allowed me to take a deeper dive,
Okay.
because I think I was just dealing with everything on the surface, just touch and go. But it allowed me to really dissect, to really peel away, to really peel off, to really dive really, really, really deep down, to really get a sense as to okay, what is it is what's really going on, and how can I really level up and come up to a higher level. And so as I began to write, I began to see many times, I said, I don't think I want to go there, but you forced me to go there because that was part of the journey, you know And in life, many times, when we look at our experiences, we said, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Why do I have to go through this? But it really and truly, it's like a diamond in the process. It has
Mm-hmm.
to go through the heat, it has to go through the crucibles, as we would say, or what have you. So going through the experience allowed me to really and truly see what was going on in my life, how I was taking care, how I was doing, dealing with it, and more so what I needed to do. What I needed to do. So the journey was really an amazing experience, allowing me to see not just what I wanted to see, but
Mm.
what I needed to see.
Wow. I mean, that's so deep. And it's crazy that a client just wrote me this morning from this present cohort saying the exact same thing. She's like, I never looked at my story or seen somebody write my story because I was editing, you know how I do for you ladies,
Yes.
editing stuff. And she's like, somebody wrote about it in the first person. Like it really took her to a place. And I thought it was a bad place. So I was like, well, I do not have to do any tweaking or corrections. You can just leave as is. She's like, no, it's good for me because it's helping me to heal.
Yes.
And so I know that other clients like Jamila would have said the same thing is as she writes, she was being healed. And so I see that process of just helping women to dig deep, to deep dive into their lives as they prepare the signature talks,
Absolutely.
apparently allows you ladies to heal so you can go out there and really create impact. So I'm excited
Yes.
about that. So talk to us a little bit about what you do right now, who you help, how you help them, how they can access you. Because we have ladies saying, Jamila is saying, I need a session. Ava is saying, I need this. I'm saying, oh, I need that. So talk to us about what your self-care priority program looks like, how you serve people, where they can find you and stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. So the majority of people that clients or persons that I see are women. However, I do have men who would call in and find, well, listen, I need some self priority too. So I said, yeah, let's work, let's do this. So the majority of our clients are usually women, and that is understandably so, because most of us, wear so many hats. We are doing so many things. We are multitasking. We're like octopus. We wonder, how do we get this done at the end of the day? So most of the times it is, women. And as I mentioned before, the biotechnology, I am just really, really crazy about it. And why so? It's because it's a technology that digs deep down into, once we do the scan, we are able to see, okay, what's going on in the body. Is there inflammation? Is there a parasite? Is there a virus? We go through the emotional matrix, because we know, as we said, that mental health is very important, because we go through nutritional counseling. I mean, I can be on the best plant-based diet, but I am so stressed out. I am so angry all the time. I'm unforgiving in certain areas. It works against the body. So we look at it at a holistic, on a holistic perspective. And what is so wonderful about this, Dr. Collins, is that the person does not have to be in office for me to
Oh,
be doing the scan. Yes, I can get a DNA sample, so you could be anywhere in the world,
wow. That's
country, in the state, and you can get this done
wow.
via the DNA sample. So anyone who's interested can reach me via my email. It's imattersolutions with an S at gmail.com, or they can reach me via the website nyctlife.com/health, or they can also reach me by calling 347-733-6837.
So that's the dates here that you can reach you. That's your link tree. We're gonna have that here. We're also going to have your email and also your phone number. If you can just repeat that again for folks.
Yes. So the email, it's imattersolutions at gmail.com. The website, it's nyctlife.com/health. And the number is 347-733-6837.
All right, so there you have it. We have all of that information. We're going to just put it on the screen. imattersolutions at gmail.com, 347-733-6837. And you have the link tree stuff at the bottom there. So, Dr. Jennifer, we are excited
Yes.
that we don't have to be where you are to be able to get your assistance, because
That's
I think so many of us need to prioritize.
absolutely
Now, we still have 5 minutes, so we can still chat.
sure.
And I know we're talking about self care, and I like the fact that you said it's not selfish. We need to make it a priority, because if we don't make it a priority, then I guess we can be in trouble. I like what Abigail says. She says, whatever is priority gets the time. You are your health. And
Absolutely.
so I love that. And I hope that all of us, including me, take that away. We're our health so we can do better, because I'm struggling to do better. I have not been exercising for years. And I'm like, Nadine, you need to do not better. You just need to do, at this point. And so I know that you finished your program. Now you're doing that. Are you doing this full time?
Yes, so right now I'm doing this full time, and hopefully later on I want to do also a book.
Yes. Well, we're getting ready for a new book program starting soon. So we got to have a chat.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, well, I'm excited to hear that you have these forward plans, because this is the perfect time of the year for us to make plans. It's
Yes,
the perfect time of the year for us to be able to get things rolling, and I'm excited so we can chat outside of here. Yes, Avril says that's good advice for all of us. Yeah, we all need that. And so as we plan and as we have our goals, the biggest challenge for people who are driven, for most of us who are women, the biggest challenge we'd have is literally making sure that self-care is a part of the equation, because sometimes we're so goal oriented, and there are others of us who just too laid back. We need to set goals, we need to be doing things, because as you said earlier on, life is short, and so we need to ensure that we're having an impact. So
absolutely.
Jennifer, you went through the program.
Mm,
We have a cohort going on, getting ready to start another cohort in the beginning of December. What
mhm,
would you say to a woman who's listening, who's been with us all week? You're
mm.
able to listen to all of the ladies' stories and yet not making a decision. What would you say to a woman who's on the fence, who needs to make a decision about, I think part of self care and the priority of self care is being true to who you are, and
Absolutely.
it's rising to your call.
Hmm.
Because if you're not living your true life, if
Right.
you're not living the life that God intends for you, if you're not aligned with your divine purpose, then you're working against yourself all the time.
Absolutely.
And so I think part of self-care is this answer to my call. It's me recognizing my purpose, because that allows me to live in a divine alignment, which causes me not to have this kind of disequilibrium.
Hmm.
And so what would you say to a woman who's on the fence, who's has this war going on inside of her?
Mm.
Like, answer the call or do what I think everybody accepts or will be. What would you say to that lady?
I would tell anybody, any woman out there who's listening, take the opportunity. Don't procrastinate, because we know that, we are good at that. Okay, I would do it when, I would do it if, I would do it. No, do it now. And I remember at the beginning of the program, Dr. Collins, you would always say to us, do it afraid.
Yes.
So you may have that fear. You may say, well, okay, I did something similar, and I don't want to really do this, another one of this again. Yes, do it, because you would be so. And first of all, your story, even though you may have more than one woman with a similar story,
Mm,
your story is unique to you. And
mhm,
somebody out there needs to hear your story to be enlightened, to be encouraged, to move to the next season. So don't think that you are in a little cocoon by yourself. Nobody really cares. Nobody, yes. And if you are going through that scenario and that story, somebody else is going through the same, and somebody else need to be lifted up. So look at that from that perspective. Do it for yourself.
mhm,
Do it because you want to empower somebody else to come
mhm.
out from that little cocoon and be the best, live the best life that they can live, and live the intentional and purpose life that God has given us to live.
Yes, that's beautifully said. An amazing way for us to end our Lunchtime with Dr. Dean series for the week. Dr. Jennifer, I'm so excited to just see how you've morphed into your divine purpose and how you're just taking charge of it, just allowing yourself to grow. And I look forward to seeing how much more you grow in that. And again, I'm just putting the plug in. We are planning to have a retreat next year. I think having you probably come there to do something for us on self-care would be, I think, really critical for us as our women. And I wish you continued blessings
You.
as you really go out there and make your mark, as you continue to build your speaking platform, helping Christian women recognize that self-care is not selfish. And
Yeah.
all of these indoctrinations that we have that cause
Right.
us to believe that if you take care of you, you're vain, or if you take care of you, you're this or that, recognizing that that body is a temple and every single part of it needs to be taken care of, from the mind to every single aspect of it. And so let us make every part of self-care a priority, every part of it a priority, holistic.
Yes. From head to toe.
I love it from head to toe because I'm really doing good with the head. I need to make sure I do the rest to the toe. And so we all need to find that balance and
Yes.
stuff like that. Oh, we have Vivian here joining us from Pretoria. We're happy to have you in South Africa. Ava asks, do you have to be hypertensive to have a stroke?
No.
Okay. The answer is no. Niseta says, I love this topic. Good job. Yes, because we need to make self care a priority. Avril says that is advice for all of us. Ladies, we're so happy that you took the time to join us for lunchtime today. We are also happy that you took the time to join us for lunchtime all week. You've been inspired by the stories of women like Dr. Jennifer. Yes, we had Avril, we had Carol, we had Ruth, we also had Million. Ladies came to you from all over the world, different stories, all on a journey to making the impact in the world. And so we're excited that you've been here with us. We will have another lunchtime series next month featuring other ladies. And right now, if you're on that at that place where you realize you're being called to speak, you don't know where to begin, I would invite you to reach out to me. We are enrolling. We have 8 to 10 spots available right now. Two of them are already taken for our next cohort, which begins on December 7th. So you want to book a call with me ASAP so that we could actually have a discovery call to see if you're a fit for the program. And if you are, we're going to get you ready for the world stage to get your story out there. Dr. Jennifer, again, thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Viewers, ladies, wow, women from all over the world, thank you. Dr. Jennifer, any final words?
Oh, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Collins. You were amazing. And, I could not have done this journey without you. You are such a wonderful, spiritful, down to earth woman who gets the job done. And I'm so appreciative for your ministry and for what you're doing, not just for us, but women around the world. May God continue to bless your ministry and empower you to reach as many women as He wants you to do. So thank you again, my love and my appreciation.
Thank you so much for that blessing. I receive it, and I send back blessings to you as well. And so, ladies, thank you again for joining us. See you next month when we feature 5 other ladies in the Lunchtime with Dr. Nadine series. God bless you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.